Good afternoon. This is DPTV with the pleasure of speaking to photographer, renowned photographer, Ronnie Wright.
Hey,
And we are here at the MOBE Symposium for 2019. And I really would like to, first of all, say thank you for your time. And we're just going to get into some of the fun stuff about photography
let's
because
do it.
everybody has a camera now on their phone.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Let
everybody
me
thinks they're
elaborate on that.
taking a favorite shot. But tell me what photography is really all about.
Photography is capturing the moment in time, and that time we won't get again. So when we do it well, and we capture that motivation, that moment, that life's experience, and just it's just something about that. And what happened with me, I got the bug when I was in high school. My mother was kind of like the amateur photographer in our family. And when I got like in 11th grade, I thought about just taking a camera with me, just shooting. I mean, I was shooting as a kid. I used to go to the Apollo every weekend with my friends, but we had no cameras.
Right.
That's when the Apollo was $5.
And you could take a
We would
picture.
see the Temptations, the Delphonics, Supreme, Smokey Robinson, all of them for $5, and Frank's was 50 cents. And I wish I had a camera then, but we wasn't thinking about that as kids.
Right.
So as I got older, and when I got in high school, I thought about doing it, and I just picked up a craft, and here it is 42 years later, and I'm still a photographer.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some technical things in regards to photography. What's the importance of lighting? When people always say the lighting, the lighting, what does that mean?
Well, first of all, you don't want to shoot in front of the sun. You want to shoot in back of the sun for outdoor lighting. And then sometimes, you got to critique it. If you hadn't studied light, you don't know your lighting. There's books to pick up and stuff like that. I self-taught myself. I taught myself how to shoot. I had trial and error. I went through I bought books and learned my craft and got good at it. So when I knew that Quincy Jones and Barry White started calling my house, I knew I was doing all right.
Right on. So tell me, what is one of your most favorite celebrity photos, if you will?
I would say Lena Horne.
Oh my gosh. Where were you able to capture
I
her?
got to work with her for about a week. We was in New York in about 1993, and she had just signed her deal with Blue Note, a jazz label, and I was assigned to work with her from a friend of mine, Stacey Murray, and that was like the epitome. I mean, like when I was a kid, my mother and father used to listen to her and stuff like that.
Yes.
And just to be in her presence was just
Wow, that's like royalty.
yeah, yeah.
She was our, she is our royalty. That's
Yeah,
our
she is.
standard.
Wasn't for her, a lot of people wouldn't have had that wave paved.
Yeah, and she's definitely the standard, and she was a very strong advocate.
Oh, definitely.
And she was civically strong.
That's right. She crossed some barriers.
Yes, she did. And she never crossed them alone.
That's right.
Much love and blessings. Okay, so what kind of camera do you use? What
I'm a Nikon man. I've been a Nikon man for like 35 years now. I started out with Canon, but I ended up with Nikon. It's just something about Nikon. It's like if you get a Cadillac, I get a Volkswagen. As long as we know how to drive it,
Right,
we know what we're
right.
doing.
Fair enough.
Same thing.
Fair enough. Now, let me ask you, what is the, okay, because I'm fascinated by cameras. I just spent 3 years in Thailand, and I took a picture almost every day of some of the most beautiful, unique sights that I've ever seen. But I know that there were certain things that I wish that I'd had a different kind of lens. I've seen photographers with bags, and there was nothing but a bunch of lenses.
Well, you know,
What does a lens do?
lens give you depth of field. You got telephoto lenses, you got short lenses. I recommend a 24 to 70,
Okay.
which will give you a little bit of both.
Okay.
Instead of buying a big telephoto, because a lot of
Right.
people don't want to carry around
Right.
another lens. But in my
So
situation,
that's that kind where you press it and it goes out
yeah,
and in.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can get
Well,
that.
that's what I have. Thank goodness. I
And
have one.
because what I do, I carry a couple of lenses because I shoot concerts
Okay.
or I might shoot. A lot of people get the illusion that I just shoot entertainers. I shoot birds and cats, dogs and flowers and trees.
Because
I
it's
like a lot of
whatever
things. Yeah,
captures your eye.
I can see things that I guess other people can't see. Just like musicians, like
Right.
Miles Davis
Right.
and Fats Domino and all them cats. They had they pictured music. They saw things.
Right.
They heard things. So all of us artists do the same thing.
What is one of the most daring shots where you had to get this shot that you were dangling by a shoestring off of a building?
It wasn't that. It was that I was at the Apollo and Lenny Kravitz was playing, and Prince came out.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, hold on. I tried to get the picture. The whole security force came down and wouldn't let me get that picture. Yeah. And that I was so hurt. And it was another time when let me see. Oh, I was at the I think the Grammy Awards or something. We was at Radio City when Michael Jackson kissed Lisa Marie. I was getting ready to get that shot, and here comes security running after me. But I was supposed to be in there to take the picture.
Right.
I saw them coming. I put the camera down. I just walked away. I was like, those are two main things that really hurt me that I couldn't get. I missed that moment in time, but it's been better days.
Now let me ask you this, because this is one of the most interesting things, is that when you have different events, you see the photographers in the pit. How do you get your clearance, or what do you have to do in order to qualify to be in that pit where all of the photographers are? And what is it called? It's not called the pit. What is it called?
Yeah, it is called a pit.
Is it?
Yeah, we usually go through the publicists and being at it. If it's the record label, we'll call a record label.
Okay.
If not, if it's the venue, we'll call a publicist.
Okay.
Tell them who we are, give them our credentials, and tell them. And then they'll check and see if they got availability, and they'll call us.
What type of credentials? What do you mean when you say credentials? Because we're always about teaching.
To shoot that particular artist, because usually sometimes we just get three songs, and we had to shoot and get what we can. Sometimes with flash, without flash. And it's just a trial and error moment. We got to go for what we go.
Okay.
And if you're a good photographer, not one of these digital photographers that got to look at the camera every 5 minutes to see if they took. If you know your lighting, your setting, your apertures,
you can just
know what
away.
to do. I just shoot continuously.
Okay. Now I understand that you are in the process of compiling a lot of your different shots and building a book.
Yes.
Can we speak to that, please?
I'm working on the Ronnie Wright coffee table book.
Okay.
It's my 42-year experience. The first book is going to be a comprisement of jazz, funk, R&B, rock and roll stars, everybody. And this is my prototype right here. And I'm just working on some things. If you guys can look, it'll feature some of these artists here. These are just some of the moments I put together for a prototype. And it's not an all-black book. It's different artists.
It's about photography.
Yeah, it's about
photography is
It's
every spectrum of the rainbow.
Going through like classic shots like this. Joe Frazier, Isaac Hayes, Muhammad Ali, Wesley Snipes, and Bush Lewis, boxing promoter.
Oh my
things like
gosh.
that. Gladys Knight in the studio. Halle Berry, I asked her to get up against this blue wall we had, and she was like, anything for you, Ron. So, it's like moments in time that we catch.
Okay.
So this is stuff I'm working on, and I want to get it out hopefully before the end of this year.
Okay.
So maybe you guys will have a good Christmas present. Remember the name, Ronnie Wright?
Ronnie Wright.
And working on that right now.
Well, I would like to say I'm most appreciative for your time. Now, let me just ask you a few more things, because it's always about learning. It's always about teaching. What types of skills would you say that somebody should either have or build to be a good photographer?
Well, first of all, I think you need to get pictures of your parents, your grandparents, and stuff like that, because we don't know how long anybody's going to be here. Just make sure you capture that moment, because a lot of us in black families, like if somebody died in our family, our cousins or aunts and stuff will come and steal all the pictures, which has happened to us. And my children, my children need not worry, because I documented their lives, and they have tons of pictures so they can show their kids and their kids. And I'm trying to gather up the little footage that we have of my mother and father and everybody else in the family, because pictures disappear. They used to disappear in the families, but now do that. Capture the moment with your grandparents, your parents. These are the people that brought us here. We had to know the story. We had to know where we've been before we know where we're going. So I advise you guys, you young people out there, you want to be photographers with those cell phones, shoot the right thing. Don't be one of those people that shoot fights and stuff like that and wait for your family member to get hurt and you want to post it instead of helping them. Don't do that. Don't let nobody be a statistic because of your stupidity. Please, if you're going to be a photographer, be a photographer.
Much love and blessings, and so appreciative for your time today.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, man.
And thank you, brother.
All right.
And thank you,
Yeah, it was.
DPTV. All the fans out there, we love y'all.
Much love and blessings.
Peace.